Alright guys, this is the instructional video for this project. It's the Oilers versus Lacerna 2019 assignment. And this is for editing. Alright guys, this is the instructional video Hey everyone, this is the instructions for this project. It's the Oilers versus Lacerna 2019 football video. Now this is these. All right, guys, this is the instruction video for this project. It's the Oilers versus Lacerna 2019 sports video. This is just for training editing purposes only, for just to get you guys to explore with the editing a little bit more. Right now, here's the assignment, of course, and there's a link to the footage files. What you don't see here is a link to the tutorial I'm recording now, but you'll have that there once it's posted. And so, but here's a link to all the footage you're going to use. There's a title that was created for this. And then there's some shots of cheerleading, some gameplay, a bunch of Oilers spirit going on, the crowd, cheering and stuff. Interviews, there's interviews. So again, this is 2019. This is before COVID, so things might look different because it's a different time. But there's sound files here. These are the sound files for the interviews. Each of these sound files has an interview in it. So whenever you find a shot of an interview, it's probably gonna be one of these, the stereo ones, STE with a number on it. There's music that we can use as a soundtrack for the background. So everything you need will be in this little link that's in the assignment for you to use. Okay. Now you will have to download these items one by one because our Wi-Fi, as you know, is not the best. My suggestion to you is that when you download these, you download these by clicking on the three dots, and you'll choose download. And don't do everything all at once because it's gonna slow down the Wi-Fi. And so you might want to do these one clip at a time. I guess create like a list of the scenes you already used. You may not use all of them. You may use some, but not all. But you will use most of these because each and every one of these shots is a really nice shot of something. But when you download them, of course, just go through them one by one, bring it into your project. And then, edit it and then bring in the next one and so on until you get through these. And there's about 38 items in here, or 39, that you'll download. And again, not all of it is video clips. We have sound, video, and titles. All right. Now, once again, when you download these, when you click on the three dots and you hit download, they download. You'll see the status bar somewhere in the corner of the browser, seeing that it's downloading. And what's going to happen is that they'll download to the downloads folder next to the trash can. Now, if you don't see the trash can, you're going to go over to the Finder. That's this little two-faced guy right there. You're going to go to the Finder. And then what you'll do is you'll go and find downloads on the sidebar. And then there you're going to see the downloaded file that you just got. Now, just like the last project, what I need to do is create a folder with you and your partner's name on it, add football videos so that I know this is a project you're working on. And so you're going to put your downloads in there. You just take them and you put them in your downloads folder and whatever. I already have it here from earlier. And so I'm not going to replace that. But you're going to put all your downloaded files in here. I downloaded everything already, as you can see here. All the files. And it looks like there's 41 There's 41, it says there. Okay. Moving on, now that I have everything downloaded, again, you have to create a new project. You can name it. Okay, you can call it whatever you want. Jack and Mary's football video or something. I don't care what you call it. Just I misspelled Mary's. Okay. And location, you want to choose the location. You want to choose your folder, which is on the desktop, right? There it is. And you're going to save it in here, because remember, everything has to remain in one little folder, right? So I'm selecting that, and then I'm going to hit create so that a new project is created. I go to the edit right here at the top, and now I have my project to edit. Once again, my suggestion is that you work under editing mode and nothing else. So if I go to Window, Workspaces, choose Editing, that's the best way to edit a video, because you have everything you need here, right? Now, I'm not going to go through this one step at a time. I'm just going to talk about what you can do, because I kind of already went over that in the last tutorial where we did the green screening. This is no different. This just doesn't include green screening. All right, so now I'm gonna obviously start with the title, because that's like the first thing. So I'm gonna just dump that in there. There's the title. Now, I don't think the title needs to be edited. The title was already animated and put together. Quite nice. But I will start with the video footage, okay? I'll just start, going through, maybe this could be the opening shot. You have that. And there you go. That's still a nice opening shot. And then you look at the clips. You look at the clips and see what's good, You don't want to keep everything, because not everything is actually good. Some of it is just, like, for example, this one is not showing you things right away. It's kind of like lingering. It's like, what's going on here? Nothing's happening. And then all of a sudden, boom, there's some kind of action going on here. So you want to remove the parts that are no good. For example, even the opening here, after the title, you have this really nice shot of the balloon here. And then, I guess that wasn't too bad. But then here, this is obviously like just boring, And then the football players come dashing out of that balloon like they always do. So maybe we cut it to that, right? Right. We don't need all this. So we select that clip here. We get the razor blade or hit Command K on the keyboard, and you cut it, right? And then you remove that part we don't want, and we keep the part we do want. And now you have a nice cut of that. All right. There they go. Now we cut to the chase there. And then there's running. But then there's too much running. I don't want to see all the running. Now I'm gonna use this to zoom in. I'm gonna get the little scrolling bar or plus on the keyboard. When you hit plus, that also zooms in, and minus zooms out. So zoom in, zoom out. And so that way I can cut it precisely where I want. So this is nice. They're all running out like they always do, and then maybe I don't want to see all of that. So maybe I cut that off, right? Command K, and then I don't need that, right? Then you go and grab the next clip. Now remember, you're downloading these one by one. So edit as you download, or download everything and wait. You have a week, or just or or just download as you go along, and just keep like a mental list or write things down of what you've already edited. So you're not downloading the same file over and over again by mistake. Let me go ahead and throw in another shot here into the mix. Okay, there we go. There's some cheerleading going on with the ollie running in the background. Let me make this bigger. I'm gonna move this down. Excuse me. There you go. So, again, we're just looking for the really cool shots. That's a cool shot of ollie running. Maybe I can cut that part, Command K. Remove that, I don't need that. Move this in. And again, just keeping the parts that are engaging to watch. Maybe that ollie wasn't so good after all. Let's see what else is happening here. Oh, the cheerleaders are getting into action here. That's kind of nice. So maybe I cut that, right? I cut to that part. Get rid of this nonsense and then move this here. And let's see how that looks. There we go. Now, don't worry about the sound. As you know, you can edit the sound later. Don't worry about the sound getting choppy. Remember, we have a soundtrack in here that we can use for the music, right? That we're going to overdub later. There's also something you can do where you can select scenes. Some of you guys know this. You can select stuff and you hit Shift D on the keyboard, Shift D, and that's going to create transitions. Yeah, it'll create transitions where it can, right? Not all places will get a transition, but here you're getting one. Those little marks right there means transition, and that will transition the video and the sound. You do have these little bars down in the sound that allow you to control the volume. However, I don't like to do that. I just go to the clips audio levels, and I use minus like 15 or something to lower all that yelling. There we go. See, much better. Now, eventually you're gonna have everything in here, everything you need. You're gonna dump all the scenes in here, and and just go through these one by one once again, and do the editing that you need to do. With the interviews, there are some shots that have interviews. Let's say if I look at this in the thumbnail mode, there's an interview here with the old school principal here, Ms. Melter. She was cool. And let me try and get her in here. Sometimes when you drag things from the folder into the timeline, it just doesn't work for some reason. It's not your fault, it's nobody's fault, it's just the way of the software. If that happens, it's always safer to dump it in here into the project tab where you have all the stuff, and then you can put it in here. See, that actually works. That's Ms. Meltzer, the old principal, and she's about to say something. This is 2019. This is 2019. This is before we even have the cubes on the mics. But she says Oiler. She's giving a shout out. So, and then again, we have the sound files here for the interviews. So when you download them or you sample them, you'll know which ones are the right ones because you can play it. You can select it once, hit spacebar. That's the one. All right, so I'm gonna take that sound and add it to the timeline. And just like the last project, we can synchronize stuff. You can select both video and audio, right click, synchronize, and then that should do it. And if sometimes it works, sometimes it does not work, but if it does, hooray for you. Some of these you may just have to do as you can see, you have to look at you have to look at the sound waves carefully and just kind of match them up yourself. If I select this audio and I use command arrows on the keyboard, the arrows, the ones that go up and down and sideways, command and arrows, and that should allow you to shift, the clip. So I'm gonna match it up to where it matches up. As you can see, that matches up just about right. And if I were to mute this layer, if I were to hit the M for mute, I will just hear the microphone sound only.
Oilers!
Much better. So then you can, of course, Command K that to cut it. And we just keep the parts that we want. Okay. And then that can be used in the cut. So one of the things I want to show you about transitions is sometimes they end up in places you don't want them. So you can easily select those and delete them. Just grab, you can click on those little squares in the corners of those transitions and delete them. And that way they don't get in the way.
Oilers!
There we go. So we have the cheerleaders and we have Miss Meltzer.
Oilers!
So there you go. And then we have more interviews in there, and when there's gameplay, right? When you have some gameplay, you throw it into the mix. Put that in. All these clips here have something really good in them, so you just look for that. You know what I mean? Look for the part that people like. People like to see the clashing, the touchdowns, all the good stuff that we all cheer for. So we look for that stuff. Like there's all that happening. Boom, right? There's all that action right there. So you can look for that. You look for those scenes. And then and maybe we can cut it here, where the ball is thrown and they catch it. There's all that madness going on, and boom, right? You can use the arrow here to go frame by frame, so you can get the precise from where you actually want to cut it. Command K, select and delete, and there you go. All right. All right, eventually you're gonna have all this madness going on, the interviews, the game. You're gonna fill this up with as much as you can. Give us a nice video to look at, something fun, and then what you do at the end is you put the ending, you put the outro in there, and then you got your outro. Don't forget that there's music involved. As I mentioned, there's a soundtrack that we added to this. The soundtrack is what's gonna make it all better. It just does, music just puts the icing on the cake. There's some jazz and hip hop in this. There you go, see? There you go. And that's about it, work with your partner, have fun with it. This music soundtrack is about a little bit over 2.5 minutes long, almost 3 minutes actually. So, use up all the space if you want. About 3 minutes is long enough. And you have everything in here, interviews and gameplay. And it's all due by Friday, all right? Get creative, have fun with this, show us something good, and I will see you soon.